That quote, I didn't know I was like an Office fan until I got to the end of The Office.
Yep.
That quote spoke so deeply to me.
Or he said, I wish I knew.
I wish I knew we were in the good times before they were already gone. And bro, like the life you're living right now is your good time that you're gonna look back on. Before we get to the episode today, I want to show you a little bit of our merch that we got going on. One of the things that we're known for is our hats. You've maybe seen us on Friday nights giving out our AA Player of the Week, and that's been like really great for us. But I wanted to show you like this is why you need some of our hats. Okay, number one, Big Homie thought he was about to take up some space. Wow! No, I'm just kidding. We got all kinds of flavors here. Okay. Buy your AA merch, vc2art.com/hats, vc2art.com/hats. Go get a freaking trucker, man. I don't know what else to tell you. Go get one. So my wife was telling me, like I asked her, what did she think I am on a scale of 1 to 10?
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, and so that spawned a few follow-up questions, obviously, like, well, what is his personality in this? Is just looks in this? Like, what rounds you out as like a number on the scale? And I said, all right, if we're going off of just looks. And she said 10. And I was like, no.
A 10's a 10, bro.
No.
He said that's
because no, I'm like, you're lying to me.
Because you don't believe you're a 10, but she does.
I think so. Okay, that's where the conversation went, where I'm like, okay, I think looks are one thing to a person, right? And then personality also. Like, so if you throw the personality in, I feel like you should want to walk around thinking, I'm a 10 with my looks and my personality. But here's the thing. Truth is, like, personality, I feel like, can only bring you up
so
3
many
to 4
levels.
top.
3
right?
max.
So if I'm like a 6,
So
like, I can't be a 10 unless I have like the best personality ever. And I know my personality is not that,
your personality's up there, bro. I gotta give credit.
You're up there.
Yeah, but
You
like,
got- you
I'm
probably-
also kind of shitty sometimes.
she probably-
like we just gotta.
She probably said that like she's being like 7 looks, but your personality's just that dominant that you get that +4 instead of +3.
I want
You
her
feel
to
me?
think that. You know what I mean? But also to just say you're 10 off of looks, I'm like, could we have a real conversation here?
So you're saying right now, right? You sit at a smooth 7 by your looks. Personality.
And that's generous, I feel
That's
like.
generous. Okay. So you're saying.
Because, like, what's a 10? Who's a 10?
What is considered a 10? Let's talk about that.
Let's just talk about looks. What's considered a 10? Because I threw out people, and she was like, I don't think they're a 10. And I'm like,
What do you consider a 10?
crazy.
I'm curious.
me?
Yeah.
Like, for a guy?
Yes.
All right. Didn't think we would be
No
talking
homo.
about this today. I think, like, probably somebody who's got a good build, like, actively works out,
Okay.
muscles,
Okay.
and like clean haircut, clean facial hair. So I'm trying to figure out like who kind of fits this mold. Who's the dude who's like was Aquaman?
Are you talking about
Jason
Momoa?
Yes.
Like someone that looks like that is to me like a 10 for a guy. Right?
Okay.
But I said that to my wife and she's like, nah, I don't think he's a 10. And I'm like, then what do you think's a 10? Because you just called me a 10. And if I stand in the same, all right. To keep rolling off this, me and Swing went to the fashion show.
Okay.
David Allen fashion show. Okay. And we're standing there. And I've never been to an event like this.
First of all, the swag was impeccable. You did your thing.
I didn't do shit. David Allen,
Dave, good job.
Yeah. So he called me up. He was like, I want you to be part of the show. I want you to donate a painting. I want you to, walk the stage. I'll create like your look. And then I was like, perfect. Cause I don't have a suit. Like
Right.
this is literally how I dress all the time.
I'm aware.
And I show up to this event wearing the suit that I sat down with him and I was just like, dude, creative freedom,
Go do what you're going to do.
design whatever you want for me. And he was like, I think a bomber jacket would be sick for you because like you're more athletic, sporty type,
Right.
look. And so I was like, perfect. And then another side trail off this story is that I show up at the event and I didn't know how to wear the like lapels and I like had them kind of folded down. And the guy who helps manufacture, I guess, the suits for David, came up to me. This is like right before I walk. So we've been there for 3 hours.
Right.
And he's like, hey, I just want to let you know, these are supposed to
And you got to fix you real quick.
come up, not. And he's like, and he did it so sweet. Like, he was like, I love that, like, you created, like, lapels out of it, but, like, let me help you kind of thing. So he was, like, very kind. But I also felt like I was probably walking around here. And, like, then I think about David, like, when he probably first saw me and, like, saw me walk up with it, like, folded down, he's probably like, this mother. I'd make you, like, the sickest jacket.
And you want to mess
wear
it up.
wrong. So, sorry, David. Where was I going with this?
That you don't think you're a 10 for whatever reason?
Oh, because we're standing in this room,
Okay.
right? It's like they had like a cocktail hour before everything kind of moved to the main party and then the stage where you walked.
Right.
So we're sitting there. I don't know what's going on. We're probably like the first people there, and we're watching people come in, bro. These dudes, okay, they come in the room.
Both of them about 6'5", 250. Like,
what's like slow motion frame rate? Because that's what they were
120,
walking in,
240.
like just coming into the room like this.
Swag on 30.
just shut it down.
Look
Yeah,
at each
bro,
other,
did the
and then
synchronized look.
simultaneously walk to the bar. And I said to Swing in the moment, I'm as straight as it comes. But I was like, those guys own this room. Like,
Like those guys right there.
10.
That's a 10.
You know what I'm saying?
But at the same time, like, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I don't give a damn. I don't even know why I was talking to my wife about this. This is just out of the blue one day.
But it's the truth, though. It's a good ass
like,
conversation.
what do you think? Like, what do you think I am? So
What do you think you are? Now let's talk about this. What is all the variables that go into being an actual 10 though?
okay.
Besides looks.
I think looks, personality,
Okay.
career.
Okay.
Like, do you enjoy it or do you hate it?
Okay. You
Because
talking.
it doesn't matter. Like, you could be,
He's
you
talking.
could work at a shoe store and freaking love your day to day.
Yep.
Right.
And that's better than
That just adds to your personality. It
Yeah.
amplifies who you are.
yeah.
Come on
Career
now.
is separate from your bank account.
I agree.
You know, like you could have that's the thing. You could have a great career that you love, and then you bring joy into that relationship because you love what you do, but you don't make a lot of money, so that knocks off a few points.
Right.
But what's the scale the other way is like you make a lot of money, but you're not present in your life.
Come on.
So it's kind of like a wash.
Yeah.
You know?
See, and I agree with that. I like those
Are
three.
you athletic?
There you
That's
go.
kind of part of it too.
Yes,
Like,
come on.
Listen, like I couldn't be married. I feel like if I was I'd be so nervous to see like how my kids are gonna run to first base if like Lindy was out here running like
Bro.
this.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you gotta
yo,
scope them out.
That's
in
what
gym
Ocho
class.
Cinco
Like,
says. He says on the first date, you got to make your girl run 100.
Seriously though, because like I'm gonna love my kids anyway, but like, come on, bro. Like I need
Yeah,
you to
for
go
sure.
hard. But here's
Yeah.
the thing though, like even if you're not super athletic, do you have a work ethic? You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
like if I could see you working out every single day of the week, or you're putting in time where you're doing extra than most, that at least I could hope for my kids to get my athleticism and our hard work.
Right, yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? But like if you really ain't got
Yeah, I feel like I'm very judgy in this episode. I'm not trying to say like if you're not athletic, I don't think you're a good
no,
person.
but listen,
like,
we're talking real stuff though, because like I'm not trying to marry somebody that's not guaranteeing me a Division I athlete, or or at least
I'm in trouble.
at
Because
least.
I was D2 and Lindy's dad's 5'4", so I'm just praying that he comes.
yeah, you know, maybe
We
she-
might just start with golf like at a young age.
and you know he might win in life with that. You know what
know?
I'm saying? But even if it's not like they're super athletic, like whatever my child does, like I want them to be 100% at it. So with that said, when I'm looking at a 10, man, it's how you treat the people around you. Because like, and how you work on the things you care about. Yes, how you treat the people around you and how you work on the things you care about. And this is why. Is because if you care about something and you're half-assed about it, then you're going to be half-assed in a relationship. If you care about something, you're like, you know what, I'm gung-ho, I'm going to figure it out. I like that because it shows that you got grit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that means if we have a kid, right, your kid is some sort's going to be able to watch the values of his father and watch the values of his mother and say, like, this is the path I'm trying to walk. Whether he goes off and does the complete opposite, eventually at some point in time, he looks at what was taught to him, what was told to him, and says, that's the way I should go. So that's why I look at, like, what you work on and how much you care about it. Then the last thing I look at, and I agree with everything you said, athleticism is definitely up there for me. Like, I'm not, that's like, if you don't got it, then we
Lindy
got
was top server in 7th grade volleyball, and that's when I knew. I was like,
You was in the game.
she's the one.
You was in the game.
They're out there like,
You know what I mean?
Still underhand serving that shit.
Yeah,
but
I
I've
mean.
head over heels.
But the last one to me is like motherly instinct.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Is because like I need somebody who's genuinely not only gonna take care of what we have together, but also hold it down at the crib. You know what I'm saying? It's because like things do get hard. They get tough, man. We're humans, bro. We all go through something. But like if you're gonna do this, you must understand like this comes with a lot. I feel like a lot of people say they're ready to be parents until they're actually parents. And with that said, like you see certain young mothers out there, and I know a couple friends and a couple few who don't really wanna, they don't wanna involve themselves with really being that, a mother. You know what I'm saying? Like they wanna try to be a mother, but they haven't had the opportunity yet to fully go into that. So women who genuinely take that role on, you know what I mean? And I see it in certain different ways. It could be around your friends. It could be around your nephew, your niece, your
Like
cousin.
I always knew Lindy was gonna be a great mom because when we'd go out and like party with our friends, she'd be the one that was like,
You
"Are
feel
you
me?
good?"
You
Like
feel me?
taking care of people, making
That's
sure they get
important.
home safe. Like, yeah,
That's
because
important.
it was usually me that she was taking care of.
Yeah.
So, like,
And that's the
like
thing,
she's gonna be
bro.
great for my kids someday.
But it's also like, I think of like, yo, like this is something that I'm realizing as I get older is like, what's your emotional intelligence? Like, are you somebody who just like, everything about life, like, I'm good. Like, I don't care, right? Or are you somebody who genuinely is gonna sit down, take the time and listen? You feel me? Because I thought a lot about what Tyler has said, right? And Tyler speaks a very sincere thought process that I haven't actually thought about. He said, as a man, right? And I don't care what people think a man's supposed to be nowadays, because I feel like a lot of people have their minds skewed on what it should be. But this is my personal version. As a man, right? I'm willing to take care of every single thing you could possibly think of in the household if I have to. No problem, right? If you told me that I need to wash dishes by my dolo, I could do it. If I need to cook for myself all the time, I could do it. I could honestly do anything that a person could do for me. But what I can't do is I can't always be there for me. You understand? Like, I need you to be there for me when I can. When I mentally am struggling, are you going to listen or are you going to walk away?
Yeah, it's important.
It's important. You understand what I'm saying? And if not, that might be the top important one for me.
Yeah.
So that, to me, is hard to say what's a 10, because a 10 at first sight might be a 5 at heart.
Yeah.
Oh, come on now.
And,
they ain't
and
listening.
yeah, and like, no, bro, because I think we have like I've been looking at the analytics on the channel, and I'd say our main demographic is like 25 to 35, somewhere in there. But
Right,
we've
right,
got
right.
a younger audience now too, because we've been teaming up with Swing and
Right.
doing like all the high school football stuff,
Right.
and those posts have been going crazy. We've been gaining a younger audience, so it's starting to like kind of widen the gap of how many people we're speaking to here. So like for the people that are, I want you to speak into this as a high school football coach. How many players have you seen that get distracted by their relationships?
All the time.
And then it actually affects their play on the field.
All the time.
So whether we're talking business or you're an athlete, how would you what advice would you give them that maybe they feel like they're starting to be in a bad relationship, or maybe it's taking away from their day-to-day things that they care about, and they feel stuck, or like
I've learned this, and I'm not great at this myself. I know it's something that I'm currently still working on, but I say this with all due respect: time and place, right? I try not to, and can't say I'm always best at it. I don't take from what I'm going through at work home, and I don't take what's going on at home to work. Am I always great at that? No, because sometimes some things happen in my life are extremely severe, right? But at the same time, like, that's always my focus. Is like, you have to be able to separate your lifestyles, because once they merge at times, bro, you put yourself in a difficult situation. Because now you're no longer performing at the level that you know you could perform, because you're allowing things that currently have no control over you have control over you. You understand? Like, you have to be able to separate yourself from what's the task at hand and what needs to be done, as well as what am I currently feeling. Because you can still feel that. I'm not telling you to get rid of those feelings just by saying, forget it, I'm not going to think about it. No, but there's a time and a place. Just like there's a time and place that you tell people on how you feel. Not everybody's supposed to know your story.
Yeah.
That's the truth. Like, not everybody's supposed to know the full story. You understand? But the people who are supposed to know better know. Because if not, you're putting yourself in, again, another situation.
Yeah.
So there's time and place. Unfortunately, again, that could be very difficult. Every single situation is different from the last situation. As most people like to say, you're only as good as your last game. You feel what I'm saying? And even for myself, in the current situations that I've personally been in, bro, like, I can honestly say I didn't handle certain situations the way I personally would want to have handled them. But there's a decision to be made regardless. Are you somebody to, because a difficult situation comes about, to quit? Or are you a person who comes about with a difficult situation and says, you know what, It's going to be difficult. That's okay. But let's still get this handled.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's so much value in what you just said too, and I want to even like shift the conversation to sports specifically, and I want you to talk, not even just about relationships, but I feel like when I was in high school, I didn't really have. First of all, I didn't have social media because I'm old as shit. So like, I didn't really have like a model of like how to get recruited. Like, bro, you're just sending like CDs
anywhere
out and just hoping that someone puts it into their DVD player and watches it.
100%.
So like, I want you to speak right now to the athletes who are, we're coming to the end of football season, which is absolutely insane. How fast this season has
blink
went.
of an eye.
I want you to speak to the guys who aren't getting the offers they thought they'd have by now, who feel like maybe their team or their teammates or their coaches haven't put them in the right position to get those offers. You're starting to feel defeated. You're starting to feel like you're seeing everybody post, offer from this school, offer from this school, from this school, and you're just, falling behind a little bit. What kind of advice would you give them to push through the rest of the season?
I'd say ask yourself this question. Are you trying or are you doing? There's a difference. See, doing, when you really want to do something, you're willing to do anything it takes in order for you to go out there and compete at your maximum level, right? But when you're trying, you're unsure about yourself. You haven't studied the playbook. You haven't taken care of your body. See, there's this misconception right now, I feel like in high school sports, that everybody's supposed to take care of you. But if you're not taking care of you, how can you expect another person to take care of you? It doesn't work that way. See, as an athlete, bro, it doesn't matter what you do in life, whether it's at home, whether it's on the field, it doesn't matter anything that you do. Either you're doing or you're trying. And if you're trying, you're not doing. That's just honesty.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's like, with those things, they're coming to the end of the season, and you're like, what else can I do to get recruited? What haven't you did? Ask yourself that question. And if you think that you genuinely did everything you possibly could, then what can you complain about?
Yeah.
And from like behind the camera, I see it all the time. After you ask yourself all those questions and you don't have anything else to give, don't be scared to run the long race. Like the transfer portal has changed so many things.
Right.
So
Getting
many
recruited
things.
is really, really hard right now.
So what would be your first step? Like right now, okay, so put yourself in their shoes, right? They don't have any offers, maybe 2-3 games left. If you're on a winning team, you might have a couple playoff games. If not, you got probably 2-3 games left. Maybe in your high school career, maybe in your playing career if things don't go well.
100%.
What's a practical step for them to take? Like, maybe take out the history of like what you've done, what you haven't done, what happened, what didn't happen. Like right now, you're sitting here thinking, I want to play college football, and I know that I'm willing to put in the work. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I'm willing to what's a first step?
For me, it's seeing on where I'm going to go, because some people don't get the opportunity right away to go Division I due to the fact that the transfer portal is a real thing. You understand? So like with that said, like if your opportunity was cut short due to, say, an injury or something that nobody expected to happen, but it happened to you, right? You now have an opportunity to start low and go high. That was never been done before ever in college football until now. You couldn't start low and expect to go high. Now you go ball out at Division III, D2, somebody's coming to look. Or if you go to JUCO, somebody's coming to look.
I just figured out why we started talking about numbers. Alabama's a natural 10. But when you pull NIL into the deal, now Tulane looks like a 10 too.
No,
because
Colorado's here.
Colorado's a 10, but it's a natural 6.
So let's talk about it.
You know
Seriously, let's talk about it.
NIL brings it to a 10. A coach brings it to a 10. A
100%.
personality,
That's
a
wild.
culture.
Because you're not just winning just because of your name anymore, right? You got to earn your
So
win.
now you just got to find a seat on that bus to whatever team that you're going to. So, okay, so, how much of a role as a high school athlete should your personal social media,
huge role.
Huge.
To be honest with you, like
Huge.
kids are not. I mean, it's not great to know this, right? Like it shouldn't be a thing, but it is a thing.
100%.
Where kids who are not even that talented are getting offers based off of how they're portraying themselves on their brand.
And if you can bring in money to a school and a program and
They're
attention
gonna take you.
over, like if you're a let's say you're a 4-star and you have no personal brand and you play in like a market where nobody really knows your name, but you're a 2-star and you have 150,000 followers on social media.
They'll take
And
you for the eyes.
They're gonna take you. They're gonna offer
just the
you.
same. every bench has that kid at the end. We all know he don't play, but he's got straight A's.
But here's the thing, though.
Hey, now if you got 150,000 followers,
You're good
you're
to
the
go.
one who's bringing the marketing budget in.
Now, here's the thing, though. With that said, right, with every good thing, there's a bad thing. You got to understand now with that, with great responsibility, right?
Comes great power, comes great responsibility. Peter Parker.
You feel me? Peter Parker. So with that said, right, you got to think about what that looks like because business is a crazy place to be in. And I feel like these kids misconstrued and misunderstand on what's really happening right now. You're no longer just playing a game, my boy.
Yeah.
Or my girl. It's not just a game no more. You're now doing business. So with that said, if you do not help the business, I'm not playing you. If you can't help the business, I'm going to go find somebody who can.
Should athletes get extra credits
No.
for playing a sport?
No.
Like a class is worth 3 credits. Should you get extra credits towards your degree if you
Say
play
maybe
a
if you're
sport?
like a PT major or something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
I
Like
think
it's
that-
like field hours.
Right.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I think that you perhaps don't necessarily get extra credit, but almost it becomes a job. Because essentially, like what's going on is an athlete should never have to work while playing a sport. It's just reality, and I'm glad that they've found a way to make sure that doesn't happen. Because you got to think these kids are spending almost 320 days with the football team.
Well, I didn't play D1, but bro, every chance I had to come home and work at finish line, I was there because
Bro, and it shouldn't have to be that way, bro. You spend so much time, bro, trying to be on a team, right? You're asked to go to study hall. You're asked to do all these things where other kids are partying. Like, social life really doesn't exist. Like, it exists, but it hardly does. Especially if you're at a Division I school who's doing really well, bro. Like, your Friday, Saturday, Sunday's taken. You get Monday off, right? Imagine doing that now for damn near 7 years in my case, right, where I only get 2 weeks off to actually go be myself. Why do you think so many athletes don't really know who they are? They don't get time to actually realize who they are.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
The craziest thing for me is sometimes like you hear these athletes and then you have them either come on a show or like put a mic in front of them and they're like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what I like. I don't know what I like to do outside of football. I don't know what I like to like.
Because
it's
nobody's ever
literally-
told them.
Yeah.
But you could. You can go find something.
Yeah.
You ain't listen. If you didn't find art or you didn't know you liked art, that's one thing that makes you probably a blessing to yourself is that you knew there was something else that you loved and you enjoyed. A lot of these athletes don't know if there's anything else in this life that they love and enjoy as much as they love playing ball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
I
And
know you went through it, bro. Getting injured is like you don't know who you are.
You don't.
It's
You
the
have
most
no
depressing
idea.
thing on the planet. You're trying to figure out
Yeah.
like, your day-to-day life. 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. used to be accounted for.
Yeah.
Now I got to figure out all those hours.
You know what I'm saying? And let's talk about transition. Like, there's NFL athletes who go through that.
100%, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's guys who made it to that next level and don't even
statistics of-
enjoy it.
The statistics of guys who also, not only that, but then they get done playing and they're broke within
They're
2
broke.
years is crazy.
But you know why? Because what else do I have to do? I got to fill space now. And some people fill space with money.
Yeah.
Some people fill space with bad substances. And some people fill space with negative things in their life. Seriously.
Relationships.
Right? Relationships,
uh,
all the above,
yeah,
right?
cars.
You'll put yourself in toxic situations because, honest to God, because you're an athlete, getting through adversity is all you've ever known. So you'll create adversity for yourself outside of your sport because you no longer have your sport to go beat that challenge. So when
Yeah.
you see guys bankrupt, it's because they went through a tough situation. They have no way to cope now. Coping for them was going to go play ball. And that's just honesty. Now, what is coping? Doping, smoking, drinking,
Yeah.
thinking, and people get scared of that. They don't want to spend time with themselves, bro. And I promise you, bro, I'm a prime example of that at one point, bro. Is not actually dealing with the fact that with the things that have happened in your life, and it's okay to be you, and you are just enough,
Yeah.
right? Like you as the athlete was a moment. What are you gonna do right now?
Yeah. And they say too, like the money just magnifies who you are. So like, bro, if you're in high school right now and you're struggling with, relationships, you're struggling with, taking care of your body, you're struggling with, like when you get this NIL money, when you get this contract in the NFL, like it's gonna, if you don't make a change, it's going to take that issue that you have now
And amplify
and
it.
times that by 1,000,000 and see what that feels like.
You know what we call that? Suffocating
100%.
or drowning. You see what I'm saying? Because like here's the thing about drowning and suffocating. This is getting crazy, right? It's getting crazy. Let's talk about drowning. Had you had the tools to know on how to handle it, if you knew how to swim, would you be drowning? Would you
Nope.
drown?
Nope.
And that's the thing where we fall faulty. As friends, right, we don't hold each other accountable by checking up on our friends in that way. is like, if I can teach you on how to be vulnerable, if I could teach you
like
on
if
how
we
to be
go
that.
in the ocean and I just see you out there just like, fucking like
You feel me?
bro, Trey, use your
Use
legs, dog.
bro.
Like, what are you
use your
doing?
legs. Like seriously
swim,
though,
dog.
use your legs, use your abilities.
If I just watch you struggle and sink, like, damn, he should have used his legs.
You feel
like,
what I'm saying? Like, and you're out there watching. There's a lot of people who just watch and stare. And there's people out there who step up to the plate, and that's what we call it. We always go back to it. Yo, what's up, tribe? You feel me? Like, if I don't know, teach me. And if you don't know, let's find out.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
'Cause I can't expect you to swim if nobody ever taught you.
Yep.
I can't tell you to use your legs if nobody taught you how to use your legs.
Mm-hmm.
So how can I expect you to open up if nobody's ever taught you?
Mm-hmm.
How can I tell you that it's okay that you lost a friend? How can I tell you that it's okay that you had a serious situation happen in your life? I can't tell you that because you don't know how to open up. Because ain't nobody ever teach you.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So as a friend or as a spouse or in a relationship, like, how much does that matter to you as a friend?
Yeah.
Right? Let's look from the outside in now. Let's go from the outside in, looking as friendships helping somebody else out. How can you help what you don't know?
Mm-hmm.
How can you give to what you don't know?
Can't.
It's not possible. Right?
It's so weird. I heard someone say the other day, like, things aren't obvious until they already are obvious.
Come on.
Like, there's so many things in my life where once the scenario plays out, I'm like, how did I not see this before? How did I
Bro,
not know that, like,
trust.
this was the wrong decision?
Trust, I feel you.
And then I find myself, like, if you don't learn from that, you're gonna return to that. You're going to come back to it. And, bro,
Talk to
that's
me.
what, like, I don't think people are, like, willing to go deep enough. I don't think people are willing to look at the reality of what's around them and, like, be very real and honest with themselves. They'll just mask it with social media posts or, you know, buying something
Come
X,
on.
Y, and Z, or, you know, like, escaping in some way from just facing the truth of what their situation is.
100%.
And if you can, you know, just to be transparent, like, and I'm not going to say who it is, you know, but a person in my life that has been, you know, having a difficult time. They're going through a difficult time, and we got some visitors here. What's up, guys? How's it going? You know, if you're going through a difficult time, right, and like, your natural response to that is to hide, to blame other people, or, you know, just for example, like taking pain medication or
100%.
you know, antidepressants,
Right.
or like whatever that you may be prescribed. And I'm not saying if you're prescribed something you should
You
stop
gotta do what
taking
you
your
gotta do, yeah.
medication. But what I'm saying is sometimes there are things that you can go through that if your instant reaction is to just suppress that feeling, not feel it, not process it, and just mask it with something else, you're going to find yourself there again.
100%.
The healing is in the sleepless nights. The healing is in the nights where you find your boy and you're like, yo, we're going to stay up and talk through this until, like,
Until we're
About to
figured
drop
out.
a bar on you.
like
The magic that you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding.
Come on,
boom,
bro.
dude. That's it, man.
Come on, bro.
100%.
And that's
That's it.
And that's the thing, bro. That work is not easy work, bro, and it's never going to be easy work. I think that we always misconstrue the fact that because we're going through something, our life is supposed to be easy. I don't want easy. I just want strength enough to go through the hard shit. What does that look like, bro? Like, if Jesus Christ died on his cross and was forced to be humiliated, dragged upon, beat up upon, and still died on that cross with a smile on his face, why do you think you're not supposed to go through adversity as if your life is supposed to be perfect? Who made you God?
That, bro, the emotion is my favorite part of sports.
Come
Filming
on.
sports, beyond the highlights and everything, the yell after the and ones.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Come
when
on.
somebody launches a football into the stands after scoring a big touchdown,
Yeah.
there's people don't realize what's behind that emotion.
Yep.
Your whole week, every stressful thing that was inside of you, the release just happened.
Yeah,
on.
I just got goosebumps,
I
dude.
love
Because
that moment because, like, that was your release point.
tell me
and
what
you found it.
tell me what your first touchdown at Pitt felt like.
Bro, what? Listen, let me talk to you. Let me talk
Take
to
me
you.
through the play and then tell me the emotional.
First touchdown.
or maybe even just set the stage.
I could tell you the exact play. It was a smash concept. We were playing Marshall. I seen the safety lined up inside. Number 3, I'll never forget him. He had the bands on his elbows. I'm looking at him like dickhead, lined up inside, and you're going in, I'm going out. Set his ass up, ran to got +2 into the end zone. Gave him a little head nod. Looked him that way. He thought I was going that way. Dickhead, I'm going over here. Made a right move. Boom. A-stepped it to the corner of the end zone. caught it, touchdown. Remember my man Jiggy came and dapped me up, bro. And I remember saying to myself, Nate Peterman. I'll never forget it.
Shout out.
Now, shout out to Nate Peterman, man. I don't know what you got going on, bro. Praying for many blessings for you. But I remember, like, yo, like, I'm here, I'm him. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's one thing that, like, it's almost as athletes, like, how do you get back to those type of feelings in your normal life?
Bro,
So that was my next thing when I was with the Wild Things. Like, bro, I watched all those dudes retire, and there's mixed emotions. Like, half the dugout's crying, and the other half is like, what's going on with you guys?
Yeah.
And it's like, the dudes who are like, what's going on with you guys? They have other passions and other things that they love doing outside of the sport, and you're watching everybody else go through identity crisis.
bro.
And it's like,
That identity crisis is something that people do not understand, and they and if they haven't went through that with a sport, like at a late, like that's the hard part, is like a lot of people go through that identity crisis because they stop playing sports after high school. You're still 18. You can still create your life.
100%.
You can still re-identify yourself.
100%.
But when you're coming out of college at 22 or 24, 25, when you
25, bro.
it's like, bro, that was your life for a quarter of a century.
Yes, bro.
And now it's like, hey, man, all these guys that stopped playing football when they were 18 and launched businesses and went to school for their specific career and knew what they were like, weren't focused on workouts, weren't focused on traveling with the team, weren't focused on, like, they've built relationships, you know. You're starting from behind. So if you aren't planning for when that transition happens, you will be behind.
And you know how crazy that feels, bro? Especially if you've done it for 7 years. Like, I was somebody who, I played football, but I had a job.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, I'm playing Division I football. I play football, but I got a job. I play football, but I'm also trying to create a nonprofit organization. I play football, but I also got a relationship. I realized very quickly that I'm more than the sport that I played, right?
Yeah.
But here's the messed up part. I felt like I was starting from behind, but knowing that I'm worth so much more than everything else that I'm gonna have to start from, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's this thing where they say that you gotta almost eat shit to get to where you're at. And I'm just like, I got to a point where I was like, I've been eating shit my whole life. Why am I still eating shit? Like, when do I make a decision to no longer eat shit and then go and get my glory?
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? And that's where I started thinking to myself, like, I'm looking for that touchdown for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I realized that it's not only the touchdown, bro. Like, what I miss the most, and I don't know how y'all feel about this, but what I miss the most, bro, is like pregame.
bro, talk about it.
Dude.
What I miss the most is
Yeah.
coming through the tunnel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, like, to be honest with you, the games, bro, like, I don't know about y'all, bro, but I black out.
Yeah.
Blurs.
So, like,
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm out of there. I don't even know I'm there. You know what I
Bro.
mean? It could be a 200,000 fans, and I was like, I don't even remember a single one.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
I mean, I played in front of about 1,400, but
still to that
teach their own.
You know what I mean? To each is their own. But, like, ultimately, bro, like, you don't remember those things, bro. You just remember being in your most primal element.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, where
Yeah.
you don't got to think, I'm just acting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out there getting to it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
If you haven't experienced a like really hype pregame locker room in your life, I feel bad for you.
What?
Because there is nothing that you feel like you can, bro. You could be 0-9,
and there's no man that can
and
stop
you're
you.
in that locker room like, bro, someone up,
Bro,
right now.
listen,
Like,
I can't lie to you, Vinny. Devontae Adams said it best, bro. Like, there's like a sense of like your Darth Vader mask comes over, or you're like, or like, you know what I mean? Like your
Yep.
gladiator mask comes on, bro, and you're just like,
Bro,
now
Swingman was the alternate ego.
Come on
Like,
now.
I was Logan out at school, but Swing was on the field.
That's
Yeah,
your
like,
stepper moment. You know what I mean? Like, it's in that moment, bro. The thing is about football, what I love about football so much is like there's nowhere you can hide.
no, you're getting exposed
You're getting exposed, whether on special teams,
for
whether
good or
on
bad.
offense,
Like
whether
you're
it's on
getting
defense.
exposed for what you are or what you're not,
And what you're
Like,
not,
you
bro.
Better,
and
you
it
better be it.
Bro, listen, and if you're not it, you'll find out quick.
Yeah.
You feel me? And again, bro, like everybody makes mistakes, bro. Some people get more opportunities than others.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like, bro, there's times where I was just like, bro, like what you did at practice is about to get exposed. And that's
Yeah.
what I feel like I didn't understand as a player and I had to understand as a coach. That's why I feel like I got to apologize to a lot of coaches because like there's times in practice where you're like, man, fuck this, bro. I'm not doing this. Or, man, I don't want to be here, right?
Yeah.
But then you get to a game, you're like, why am I playing so sloppy?
Right.
Like, why do I not feel like
That's
I'm
one
prepared?
thing I would say differently to myself was I feel like I had an awful attitude about practice and about like working out at like because I'm someone who doesn't do well when you tell me I need you here at this time. Like
I know.
I like to be like I want to be motivated. I'm saying I learned how to overcome this.
Right.
But back then it was like, why can't I just work out when I want to work out?
Right.
Why do I have to be here at 6 a.m.?
Right.
Why do I have to be here at 5 a.m.? I'll do this workout later. Like,
Right.
so it just the negative mindset, and it was like the team, like there was, when the season's not going well, you lose the,
Right.
the drive to work out or to stay, in the
lose
moment.
interest.
But like, I wish that would be something that I would go back and tell myself, like, dude, give 100% at every practice.
100%.
Like, stay after every practice. Put in the work. Like, I didn't have someone chirping in my ear, so it was all on me.
Right.
Like, I didn't have a training me. I didn't have, like, bro, if you had a highlight film that someone put together on, like, iMovie at the end of the year, like, that was the coolest moment. A lot of
Facts.
the season at D2 and in high school when I played didn't get seen. So it was almost like the whole, they say, like, you work out behind the scenes so that, like, the success comes from what people don't see. And I'm like, well, shit. The success people aren't even seeing. Like,
So it's like, why
nobody's
even do it?
filming this. Nobody's, like, capturing this. There was a lot of stuff that I had to work through to find motivation.
Right.
And I think that's what I'd go back and tell myself is, like, don't worry about that, because the stuff, whether it gets seen or not, the drive that you create for yourself is going to translate into business. It's going to translate into your school. It's going to translate into your relationships. If you have to manufacture that later in life, you're again going to be behind.
And that's a fact, bro. And that's why I feel like it's so cliche to say, but your why has to be bigger than your mission. And here's the thing, though. You have to be your why in order for that mission to be successful. And that's what people don't understand, is because for me, bro, so to be real with you, when I lost my mom, bro, like, I felt like I lost my why. Like, as much as I was determined to go play, I wasn't determined enough to go play for Trey. I was only determined because my mom was the thing that I was fighting for. You feel what I'm saying? And that's why I wish that my why was me. You know what I'm saying? Because although, yes, my mom was my why, but I didn't realize that I was also my why. I was also the reason why I'm out here. I'm also I was also the little kid who said he wanted to be here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to tell my teammates all the time, don't forget about that little kid that said he would. You feel me? Like,
What would you go back and say to little Trey
Oh,
on his first day of football
man.
practice?
shit.
What would you say?
To little Trey?
Yeah, first day of practice, you just got the pads on for the first time. You probably got the plastic, everyone got like this helmet with the center bar to start.
The beaker.
It was just like, yeah, the beaker.
What did I say to little Trey? Don't be afraid to be you all the time. Like, you don't have to hold back just to make somebody else feel comfortable. You feel me? I feel like there's times where I let myself not be me just because of somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like like at times I would take the back seat even though that I was better than that transfer.
Mm-hmm.
I would take the back seat even though that I know that I deserve that position, right? And I was never the one to complain or get upset about playing time, bro. I was like, I wanted to show you that I deserved my playing time by my work ethic. And I felt like my work ethic spoke for itself my last year, but I didn't get the opportunity that I felt like I deserved. And that's okay, now being the man that I am, but during that time, I still don't understand necessarily because I still feel like I was the better man.
Yeah, I went through that too, man.
You know what I mean? And that's what it is. But younger Trey, I would say to myself right now, if I could go back and talk to younger Trey, is one, that don't hold yourself back for nobody. And two, is that everything is going to be all right, even when you don't think it's going to be. Like, bro, like, adversity came in my life, bro, from the day I was fucking born. You understand? So for me, it's like, yo, like, make a decision. Genuinely, like, make a decision, bro. Like, are you going to fight through it or are you going to sit there and let it just beat you up? There ain't no in between. So I would tell young Trey, bro, that everything that you think is wrong is going to be all right. And then also, bro, make you your why, bro. Like, you deserve to be bigger than the current moment that you're feeling, bro.
To build off of that, like, bro, it like, have fun with that.
Have fun
Like,
with
this
the
is
game,
your
bro.
safe place.
Right.
I wish I would have learned that younger. It's like sports was where everything goes away.
Come on, bro.
Like,
Talk that talk.
Get to the field earlier because you can make the problems go away quicker. Stay later because they don't come back as long.
Yeah.
Like, that was, bro, the batting cage was my safe place. I used to just be in there for hours because it's like, can't touch me in here.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. That's something that you just said something so crazy, bro, because I'm sitting here thinking, bro, like, remember, that's the one thing I would say is like never forget that you set out that goal. Never forget the goal that you set out to do. Never forget the little kid that you are. Because when I forgot about that little kid who loved playing ball, that little kid who like genuinely was like, yo, I'd be at the practice 2 hours before everybody's there just working out. And then I'd be there 2 hours after. I forgot about that
Just because you loved it.
Because I loved it, bro. I didn't care about what the coach, bro. I didn't care who the coach was.
One time I had it was before our senior year rivalry game against TJ. We had a guy come in, and I don't even know who he was. He was a friend of the coaches. I feel like, so anyways, he gave us like a pregame speech, and I'll never forget it because like he basically came into the locker room. We're all hyped. We're all ready to go. And like, you know, in those moments, it's like one of those things where, you know, you don't want to bring the energy down. You want to like keep it up, you know. But he came in there and he was like, I want you all to sit down right now and look at me. And like, and then he was just like, I want you to close your eyes. And so, and if you're watching this and you're not driving, like do this.
Okay, let's stop.
Like close your eyes, right? And just think about where you're at right now. Envision all of the things that you had to do to get there. Every rep in the weight room, every time that you had to wake up early, every time you had to eat the meal you didn't want to eat, every time you had to like sacrifice time with your family, all the things that you had to sacrifice to get to sitting right here. Now realize that right here is about to be one of those moments in the past. It's not forever. You don't get to play forever. You don't get to suit up forever. And so if you're sitting here with your eyes closed and you're thinking about all the things that got you here, now continue to keep your eyes closed and think about what you want. Think about where you want to be. Think about how you want to walk off that field. Think about how you want to walk into that meeting. Think about what you want people to say when you take your last breath here on earth. Okay? Now open your eyes and you get to make that happen right now.
Opportunity.
And you get to live that.
That's what's crazy, man.
I remember having like, dude, just goosebumps all over because life is so short. And you think about, you know, they say like, yo, you get to watch your life back, you know, life flashes before your eyes before you die. Like, I don't know where that concept comes from, but think about that, bro. Like, someday, who knows where life takes us? But we're going to look back at this year where we sat together and did a podcast every week, and we're going to go, bro, I'd do anything to just go sit down with you and look at each other and go, what are we talking about today? Like we do every single week.
It's the Office quote. Andy says, how do you know you're in the good times before they're gone?
That's that quote. I didn't know I was like an Office fan until I got to the end of The Office.
Yep.
When he said that. That quote spoke so deeply to me.
How do you know you're in the good times?
Before they're already gone.
It's something like that. It's like,
or he said, I wish I knew
we were in the good times before they were already gone.
Yep.
And bro, like the life you're living right now is your good time that you're going to look back on. You're going to forget the pain. Goes back to our conversation a few weeks ago. You're going to forget the peaks, what they feel like. You're going to forget the valleys. You're going to remember the good times in the middle, the things that made up, you know, your day-to-day. Like, I'd do anything to go back and eat breakfast on Saturday morning with my mom and dad and just be a kid just rolling out of bed. And, like, there was nothing significant about that moment in my life.
Facts.
But I would return to it in a heartbeat.
Can I be
just
real?
to live
Bro,
it for a second.
The locker room.
The locker room, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my gosh, bro. I don't even miss. Honest to God, I hated practice. I still hate practice. But in the locker room.
What, that 30 minutes before and after?
Come on,
If you have
bruh.
3 games left in your season, I want you to go into your locker room this Friday or this Saturday if you're in college, or if you're in the pros and you watch this on Sunday or Monday night, Thursday night, whatever days you're playing. I don't know, Mac's back. Maction's back, baby. We got Tuesday and Wednesday
Tuesdays,
football.
baby.
Let's go. I don't care when you're going into this locker room. Pretend like this is the last time that you're going to get to take that in, and watch how your perspective changes throughout the entire game. Don't let yourself lose that perspective when the adversity comes in the game. Don't let yourself, and trust yourself that if you feel led to be a leader on the team, trust yourself, because I guarantee you, if you're waiting for your coaches to come in and say, you're the leader,
Right.
you're the guy, it's not going to happen.
It's never going to come.
And
They're
those
waiting for
college
you
coaches-
to step up and say, I'm the guy.
Those college coaches that they're looking at you, even if they haven't offered you yet, they're waiting for that moment.
They know who you
too.
are.
They're waiting for that moment.
But you also got to feel that way in your normal life, bro. It's like,
Yep.
like, are you the guy all the time? Some people are the guy some of the time. And I feel like that was my issue. I wasn't consistent enough at
Right.
being the guy. You know what I mean? Like, I was the guy, but I wasn't the guy all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And like I needed to be. You understand? So like with that, bro, like to be that, like you said, bro, that takes a lot of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of these kids, I think a lot of the world right now is missing passion. Like we lost a sense of passion.
Yeah.
The want to.
It's not cool to be passionate about stuff.
Bro, and it makes no sense to me, bro, because kids lost so much sense of passion that they can't even, they don't know what it feels like to feel like you care. They don't have to care. And I'm not trying to be one of those old heads that be like, this generation is just different. Nah, it's just in the sense of that you guys live a different life than anybody has ever lived. And I can't blame you for living the life that you currently live in any type of way, shape, or form, but find something that you love and love it like you'll never let it go. And that's the thing that makes things different, because people don't actually take the opportunity to never let go, or not even just never let go. Love it like you'll never let it go.
I'll say it, Trey. It's these iPad kids. It's cool, bro.
Bro, listen.
They
and
get that instant sense of dopamine. The only sense of dopamine I had was a sweet spot on a baseball bat.
Can
bro.
we
What?
can we teach patience again?
Swear.
Patience.
Like, because patience is so like, because everything is
yeah.
so instant, bro. We're not patient no more, bro. We can't wait for a phone call. I gotta call you right now. If I don't get a text back, we're not friends.
I'm not gonna wait for the playing time. I'm gonna just transfer right now.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, what happened to patience? What happened to learning through time alone? What happened to sitting in reflection? Like, I don't feel like kids don't reflect.
Bro, it's what we said,
They're
dude.
scared
Like
to.
the space where the solution to your problem is, you're running from. Like it's you have to get uncomfortable. You got to feel the pain, and if you like, the deeper the pain that you let yourself feel, doesn't mean you should seek it, but if you're feeling it, you should feel it. It's there in your life.
Let
Why are
yourself
you
feel it.
masking it? It's there. Feel it so that you don't go back there.
Talk it,
Because you're gonna go back there if you like mask it.
And bro, like, and I'll be honest with you, bro. And I think it's time I'll just be honest with everybody, bro. I've been going through some tough things, bro, lately, and I can honestly say, bro, I haven't masked it. You know what I mean? Like, there's a time and a place, but I know for a fact I haven't masked it. And I'm proud of myself for not doing so, bro, because the old me would have just been like, yeah, like, things are straight. I'll be all right. Nah, bro, I'll tell you I'm not okay, but I'll still continue to go about my day. Like, any feeling, I'm done lying to people about my feelings, and I never have in a long time since the day I thought about hurting myself. Like, what you see is what you get. My emotions are like this at times.
Yeah.
There's times where I love you to death, and there's other times where I'll be like, that doesn't make sense. You understand? And I feel like we can't lie to people that we genuinely love. Like, you can't lie about your emotions. Whatever you're feeling is what you're feeling. Whatever you're going through is what you're going through. But here's the difference, though. Here's the kicker. Do not let your emotions stop you from getting to your goals.
Amen.
Do not let your emotions stop you from getting to your goals. One thing I learned you can learn from anybody. I learned this from a friend of mine that needed my help. He said to me, he said, take yourself out of it. Think about that. Take yourself out of it. If you weren't you and you were looking in on what's going on to you, how would you see it?
Yeah. It's different.
And that's difficult. That's very difficult, because when you're going through it, what's attached to everything that you're going through? Emotion, feelings.
Yep.
And
Right.
people are so scared of those negative emotions.
Come on.
I expect you to be frustrated.
Come on.
When things aren't going the way you want them, I expect you to be
Expect
upset
you to be
about
mad.
it. But
No
I
doubt.
don't expect you to act negatively on those emotions. You have to figure out how to process it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
100%.
difference. It's not
100%.
It's not that you're not allowed to be mad. You're not allowed to be angry. You have to just know how to use that energy.
And where to put it.
Yeah. Well, man, this has been great. I want to wrap this conversation today. I feel like also the funny part of our audience is that most people come in because I do uniform mock-ups, and then we sit here and talk about shit like this.
Hold on.
But are you gonna pan over? I don't think you can. This guy.
I look behind me and it's this motherfucker. Like,
But yeah, people follow us for uniform shit, and then we hit them with this. So maybe we should just mention hey, the Buccaneers wore creamsicle uniforms, and then just so that for the algorithm we can put it on the cover image or something.
creamsicle uniforms.
Creamsicle.
We need to do a whole episode. I keep saying this, but we need to do a whole episode where maybe it could become a segment where we redesign the NFL uniforms one team at a time. So every episode we start with that, or bring it in.
100%.
We need to know from you guys too, what do you want? Do you want that? I know a lot of our audience, like I said, is into that. So how do we implement that? Leave us a comment. Let us know. Do you want more talk like this? We're gonna probably talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about anyways, but like we still want to hear what you guys want and figure out how to implement that into the show. So
Yeah, and tell us how these conversations are changing your locker room. Because you need to be bringing this conversation to your team.
Yeah, shoot us a message on Instagram. Trey's,
Facts.
In his own DMs, I'm on mine. Like, shoot us a message. Like, we want to talk to you guys and like help you through stuff. Like, I would have loved to have a podcast like this, speaking into what I was feeling as a high school athlete, as a
100%.
college athlete.
100%.
We didn't have stuff like this. I mean, I know you can get it anywhere right now, but I promise you, if you message Ryan Clark, he's probably going to get back to you a little bit slower than we do. I'm not saying we're the same, but like,
Reach out.
We want good for you. So like, if you feel like we could help you in any way, please reach out to us.
Reach
and
out.
Let us be there. So, I don't know if I have anything else. How about you?
I don't, man. I just want to let you guys know, man, if you don't feel love, come get it from here. You know what I mean? Let us actually be there for you. That's the one thing I said, that we're a lot different from our other podcasts. A lot of people will say they'll be there for you, but not actually do it. I think we'll do it more than you've ever expected in your life. So this is episode what, Vinny?
I have no idea. Thanks for being here, guys. This is Athletic Aesthetic.
And we love you.